So this video is just going to show you how to construct a sample space and then how to answer some questions based off of that sample space. So they show you this spinner here that has 3 sections, and they want you to make a sample space for spinning it 2 times. So that means that you spun it once and then you just spun it again, and we're recording all of those 2 sets of outcomes. So you could do this a couple of ways. You might be able to do it just off the top of your head, but it's also helpful sometimes to do a tree diagram. So what you would do is start by listing some abbreviation of all the things that could happen on your first spin. So you could get a red, an orange, or a purple. And then off of each of those, you want to give all the possibilities of what could happen on the second spin. So if I spun red first, then I could get another red, or I could get an orange, or I could get a purple. If I spun orange first, I could then get a red, then get another orange, or then get a purple. And finally, if I spun purple first, I could get a red, an orange, or another purple. So I've just shown all the possibilities of what can happen, but now usually in a sample space, we list it out a little bit neater using proper notation, which would be what we like to call fancy brackets. And now I'm just going to use double letters. So I could get 2 reds, I could get red, orange, red, purple, and I'm just going to continue to go through here. I should have 9 total combinations. Orange, red, orange, 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 purple, and then finally purple, red, purple, orange, or purple, purple. So really, this right here is your sample space. The tree diagram was just your means of getting there. Okay, so now we're going to answer some questions, and we'll always make sure we're using proper probability notation. So this says, what's the probability of spinning exactly 2 orange? So it says exactly, meaning it can't be something similar to 2. It has to be exactly 2. So I'll say this something like probability of 2 orange. I'll just use an O, like we have been. And I'm just going to go through and count how many times did we get exactly 2 orange. Well, that only happened the 1 time. So 1 out of, there are 9 total possibilities for your 2 spins, so 1 out of 9. Part B says, describe the complement of the event in part A. So complement really means the opposite. So what's the opposite thing of spinning 2 orange? Well, not spinning 2 orange. So it could mean spinning 1 or fewer oranges. You could say this a lot of different ways. The easiest way, I think, to talk about a complement is just say, not spinning 2 orange. So that means literally any outcome in that sample space that is not OO would be included here, which means it's going to be all of the other 8 possibilities. So what you can do, if it's not so easy to do the math in your head, what always works is you can just subtract. So now first let me show you the notation. So if you're using complement notation, usually we write that event again. So there's my 2 orange, but I'm putting this little dash. It's kind of like a long apostrophe that shows complement. And I know that this is 8 out of 9, but if I wasn't sure, I could show 1 minus 8 out of 9. Oh, I'm sorry, 1 minus 1 out of 9. I'm sorry, the answer to part A. And I know that if I take away, I've got 9 total, and I'm taking away 1 of them, I have 8 out of 9 left. Again, you don't have to show the math if you can do that in your head, but if you're ever stuck, you can always do 1 minus whatever you got for your original answer, and that will work. Okay, and then finally it says, what's the probability of spinning at least 1 purple? At least. So think about what that means. If I say I'm going to do at least 1 of something, that means 1 or more. So now I'm looking at my sample space for any outcome that has 1 or more purples, meaning really 1 or 2, since you can't have more than 2 in this case. So I'm going through and I'm looking for anyone that's got a purple in it, essentially. So here's a purple, here's a purple, 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 purple. Okay, so there are 5 of them total. So again, I'll use my notation, the probability. If you want to just write the words at least, that might be the easiest thing to do. At least 1p for purple. And we counted up that there are 5 of them. Okay. So those are just a couple really simple examples. There's a lot of questions that can be asked, but if you keep referring back to your sample space and counting what fits into your particular event, these shouldn't be so bad.